There are 3 fatal relationship mistakes, and I want you to figure out today if you're making any of them. And hey, I'm going to help you do something about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Cheryl Fraser. I'm a sex and love therapist, author of Buddha's Bedroom. I got a podcast, I got all the things, and I have a husband, which means I make some of these mistakes too. I know you want to know what they are. Here we go. The first fatal relationship mistake is ugly fighting, criticizing, being a whiny baby and not taking any responsibility when you make a mistake, not apologizing well. Overall, how we handle conflict is usually pretty crap, honestly. I hope you're not in that group. I am sometimes, but you really need to watch out for how you fight, and can I help you fight more fair? The second major relationship mistake is ho-humness. Yep, just made that up. Boring, no thrill, no dates, no romance, your roommates. I really cringe when I hear this very sad phrase. I love them, but I'm not in love with them anymore. The second fatal mistake is to not really invest some love and some spark and seduce your partner and take them on a date and be romantic and not take your relationship for granted, or you end up bored in a boring relationship. The third fatal mistake is really not taking care of your sex life. About 30% of long-term couples or more have no sex at all. If you are having sex, I bet it's nipple, nipple, crotch, good night. That's what I call it, the typical North American sex life. You touch me here, I touch you there. It's nice. Maybe one or both of us have pleasure or orgasm, but come on, are you bringing any of your A game? So there you go. I do have better news though. I've developed a model that may help you right now, what I call the 3 keys to passion, or the passion triangle. Good, healthy relationships, long-term relationships, rich and unusual. And I'm very sad they're unusual, but exceptional relationships. Couples are good in those 3 areas. So when it comes to conflict resolution, I call that the intimacy side of the passion triangle. That's where you talk about your hopes and dreams. When you disagree, you have methods and tools in place to stop you from devolving into an ugly fight, to help you communicate in a way where you understand each other, whether you agree or not, and you're willing to move things forward with love and kindness and grace. You know, kindness, the way you treat your friends, and sometimes we don't treat our mate that way. So the first aspect of a great relationship is having great communication. I know it doesn't sound very sexy, but you know what's not sexy? Having a mean, ugly argument, sleeping in 2 different rooms, and not making up in the morning. So I work a lot with couples in my online program. I do a 3-month program twice a year. And I'm just finishing up with a group right now. And so many of them have said learning how to have fair conversation has transformed the other 2 problems. Because the second side of that passion triangle, I call thrill. That's the anti-boring. In other words, instead of being bored, lazy, not creating fun dates for your partner, not being a great partner, not being interesting, watching TV all the time and ignoring them, we want to create what I call thrill. Bit of a silly word. I chose it for a reason. Weren't you thrilled when you were dating? Wasn't it fun and exciting when your partner planned unexpected things for you? I help couples bring more of that back, because the thrill isn't dead, it's just slumbering. So that helps with this second fatal flaw, which is bored, not really in love, roommates, complacent. I'm not that happy in my relationship. I don't necessarily want a breakup or a divorce, but it's pretty blah, and I complain to my friends about it all the time. That's another fatal flaw, by the way. The third aspect of the passion triangle is what I call sensuality. That's everything sexual, sensual, and erotic. And it is stunning how poor the sex lives of long-term couples are. I just surveyed over 2,000 couples when I was introducing them to my ongoing program, and asked them on a poll, how often do you make love? Is it, once or twice a week, once or twice a month, less than that, not at all? 42% said they didn't make love at all, many of them not in many years, and only about 13% said they made love at least once a week. And I did a different poll. How would you rate your sexual life? Is it excellent? Lots of spice and fire. We make love quite frequently and we love it. It's a strength for us. Is it okay? We make love, at least a couple times a month, maybe a bit more. We enjoy it. And is it not so good, or is it terrible? Only 3% of 2,000 couples I surveyed a couple of months ago said they had an excellent sexual life. This is a fixable problem. It's a fatal flaw to ignore your sexual life. It's a fatal flaw to be lazy. It's a fatal flaw to be in a sexless or low sex relationship that you don't choose to do something about. So there you have my model. I help you on these videos in many other ways to figure out where you're at. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click below and go take my passion quiz and rate your relationship. Well, what will that do, Dr. Cheryl? What it will do is it will let you know where you're strong and where you're weak on intimacy, thrill, and sensuality. It'll help you know which of these three fatal flaws you're victim to. It might be one, it might be two, or cringe, it might be three. Ugly, crappy fighting you don't know how to handle, boredom, no romance, not making each other feel special, or neglecting or having no sexual life, or a really boring one. Three fatal flaws. They do not predict success, people. They predict eventual breakdown, sometimes affairs, sometimes breaking up and divorce. So much unnecessary pain in our love relationships can be improved if you start to fix those fatal flaws by working with the passion triangle. So go now, take that quiz, find out where you're strong and weak. If you have any questions after that, send them to me. Send them and I'll talk about them in a future Love Bite. For now, make love intentional. Great relationships are created. They're not an accident. I'll see you next time.